In Group E, Czech Republic 1, Belgium 1. The standout result, meaning that both teams level at the top of the table on 4 points apiece. Jan's still with us. He's welcoming Gab and Jules to the show as well. Jules, Belgium hanging on in the end.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for them. I think they expected it to be tough because it's really hard to play against the Czech team. We saw with Slavia, for example, in the Europa League, how difficult it is to manage against them. They're very physical. They're very aggressive. They play with intensity. They've got some good little players. The team tonight had a lot of the core of that team is from the Slavia side as well. So they know each other so well. And it was really tough. They could have easily lost that game, Belgium. So I think Roberto Martinez will be very happy with the point.
The FIFA World Rankings, Gab, tell us that Belgium are the #1 team in the world. They didn't look like it for much of today.
Yeah, look, I mean, you got to take the FIFA World Rankings with a whole gleaming salt lake.
All right. Let's okay. They're supposed to be one of the best teams in the world.
They haven't played football. I know, but I think the reality is they haven't played football, and none of these teams have. I think the Czech Republic showed that they can certainly hang with Belgium, and I think in a game like this, away from home, if you get a little bit physical, if you stay organized, you can certainly go and rattle a Belgium side that, don't forget, is filled with a bunch of players who've played a ton of minutes already this season.
Stevie, I know defensively you're worried about Belgium.
Well, I am, yeah. If you look at the back three that they played today, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, yes, are highly experienced, but they don't have any pace. Even at the best, they weren't particularly quick. And then in the middle of them is Debonair, who, quite frankly, I don't believe should be playing in this Belgium side. The guy in the middle is supposed to be in charge of the back line. He's the one that organises everything. And then when things go wrong and he has to step out, he has to do that. He doesn't do any of those things, and he's actually not particularly great on the ball. So if you've got a back line, or certainly a back three with no pace, and the man in charge isn't capable of doing that, and is not particularly good with the ball, I would suggest you're in a little bit of trouble when you come up against a real good side.
Jan, do you agree?
Yeah, but still, I just want to go back to the FIFA ranking there for a while. Yes, my team in the 90s, we were second in the FIFA ranking. So please, Gab, stay away from the FIFA ranking. Thank you. I just want to say that. This was a quite decent game, I think. It was an intense game. I think the Czechs were a good team that maybe deserved to win today. What I, as a striker, love to see is that the way Lukaku, and you can say whatever you want about him, his strength and his weaknesses or whatever, his hold-up play is sensational. I think that I agree with Stevie. The defense is not that good for Belgium. With a De Bruyne and a Lukaku, there is always a chance to get goals. And even today, in a game where they didn't create that much, still there were potential for Lukaku and De Bruyne hitting the post as well to do it. And two great players. And I can understand that Lukaku is much wanted now coming up in this summer.
Gab, is he in the form of his life?
I mean, certainly so many things are working for him. And, you can look at this and look at the goal he scored and be like, well, De Bruyne put it on a plate for him. But he's just showing that everything's coming together. He's being used differently. I think the way Martinez has used him has always been the right way. Don't just use him as a target man, lumping balls to him. And you can find out how many more things he can do because he is one of the cleverest center forwards out there.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.